I get a lot of questions over on my YouTube channel about Etsy, about running a business, general questions, you name it, I've gotten it. And I always do my best to try and answer every single question. But it's a lot harder sometimes to formulate a response, a written response, rather than just talking through it verbally. So I want to start talking and bringing some of these questions to light on my podcast and on the YouTube channel as well. I'm going to post this video in both places. If you guys are listening on the podcast, make sure you're checking out my Handmade and Beyond YouTube channel because there is additional different content on there that you guys can learn from and digest and hopefully like it. You guys can go, I'll drop a link below where you can get that. But if you're watching on YouTube, you already know where to go. You're already watching and seeing this. And I'm going to pick out a couple of questions and start doing an episode, a Q&A episode every week, every other week, depending on how many questions I get, to bring those questions to light, talk about them verbally so that you guys can learn and hopefully help improve your Etsy business. So without further ado, let's dive into Q&A with LL. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast, to the YouTube channel, wherever you guys are watching this. Like I said, I will post this in both places and links to both places in the show notes as well. But I want to dive through some of the recent questions that I've got and just talk through those with you guys so we can learn and grow together. And most of these people have already received responses over at the YouTube channel, but I'm still going to talk through it anyways because sometimes it helps to hear it and comprehend it better than just reading it. You can be a different type of learner. If you're like me, you learn different ways. So I'm going to bring those questions to you. And mind you, there's never a dumb question. I know people are hesitant to ask questions, but you don't know if you don't ask. So don't hesitate to ask. If you are watching this on YouTube or wherever you're listening on the podcast, go over and watch it on the YouTube channel. Ask questions there. Ask questions under this video. If you guys have burning questions, go ahead and ask those now. Or if you have questions on any of the other videos, there's tons and tons of videos. So go and ask those questions on those videos. Ask them on this video, and that'll give me questions for the next time I do this, the next episode. The more questions I have, the more often I can do these Q&A episodes and give you guys the information that you need for your business. All right, so without further ado, let's dive into the good stuff. I'm done rambling about the different locations of where I'm posting content. All right, so the first question I have is from JC. And this is a really good question. He wants to know, he sells beard products on Etsy. And since I'll have to look you up, JC, I have a newly formed beard within the last, I've had it probably like a year and a half. So still getting attuned with all the products and all the stuff. I gotta have a beard because I lost my hair about a decade ago. So I gotta have some type of hair to play with and put gel in and beard oil and things like that. Otherwise, I'm just lost. I have, I'll have no hair. I have no head hair. So it helps me kind of cope with losing my hair at an early age. Anyways, all right. So his question was, I want to sell beard products on Etsy. I have 5 different scents with different scent names. It's the same company, but just the scents are different names. Should I list all 5 separately with one drop-down menu, or another that has all 4? Like basically, he wants to know, should he do one listing with all the scents in there, or do multiple listings for each scent? I think personally you should do it both ways, especially if you're a newer shop. I just did an episode on this. The more listings you have will help the algorithm basically target your audience. It'll help it find more people to bring to your shop. So by doing multiple listings, you're going to help have more keywords, and you're going to help the algorithm be able to target more people to hopefully buy from your shop. So also, if you do one listing, it's going to be hard to do all different keywords. To basically, you're going to be trying to target all 4 of those different scents in one listing. So you're going to run out of space, and you're going to basically be trying to target a lot more people. It's going to be a lot more broad. So what you're going to lose is that targeted focus, and it's not going to attract a targeted audience which you're trying to attract. So you're better off doing separate listings. Go ahead and have the drop down including all 4 in there, but your keywords, your title, and your tags are going to be targeting to that 1 cent in what the product is. And then they come there, maybe they decide they don't want that, they want one of the other cents, they can buy one there, but at least you will have more of a targeted marketing focus on that 1 cent with each of the different listings. Also, on the flip side, like I said, you'll have more listings, which will help you in the overall scheme of things with the algorithm and bringing traffic to your shop. So hopefully that makes sense. That's the way that I would do it, and be able to get more listings out there and have a better targeted focus. All right, the next question I got was from Transformers 101. I wonder if they're a Transformers fan. I don't know. Hard to tell. Their question was, do you need to set up email marketing to activate Etsy, sending coupons to favorited and people that add items to cart? So Etsy in the marketing tab does allow you to set up targeted email campaigns for people that add items to their cart and people that favorite items, and then you can also send them to people thank you emails. Once they buy something from you, it'll send them a thank you email with a coupon code as well. You can set all that up from the marketing tab. It's right in there. It'll give you the ability to select how much of a discount you want to give them, and then the nice thing about it is Etsy will automatically send those emails out after someone favorites something. They'll send them an email. Hey, here's 25% off. Come back and buy that item you favorited. Or you added the item to the cart. Here's 20% off. Come back and actually check out of your cart. So it's a little bump for them to, a little enticement for them to be able to come back and buy and help your overall conversion. You don't have to set anything else up separately. You don't have to have your own email provider or anything like that. Etsy does this for you all on the back end. It's all done through Etsy. You literally just have to go into the marketing tab and select which listings you want this to apply to, select your coupon code amount, and then activate it. So it's pretty easy as that. It's pretty simple to do. So go in there and make sure you do it. It's a great way to increase your conversion rate, and it's very simple. Etsy actually used to charge for this. They would charge like 10 cents an email that was sent or something like that years ago, and it's been free for the last couple of years because it's beneficial to us as sellers. It's beneficial to Etsy, of course. So, and they already have the infrastructure to do it, so it's really no skin off their back. All right, the next question I have is from Lenny. He basically, this was a response to one of my recent podcast episodes where I was talking about, adding more listings, and he says, will more listings dilute conversion rates? So he's talking about if you have more listings that don't actually sell, your conversion rate's going to go down. Yes, of course that is going to happen. It is going to impact your conversion rates, especially your overall conversion rate, because you're going to add more listings. Those aren't going to sell right away, so your overall conversion rate is going to go down. Really, that shouldn't be your focus. That's fine. If your overall conversion rate goes down, that's fine. What the algorithm looks at is each individual listing conversion rate according to how many visits that item's getting and how many sales that item's getting. And then that is your conversion rate. So sometimes it takes time for listings to sell. If you're doing the best practices, if you're following some of the things that I've teach and taught, inside my community, inside previous episodes, and you're setting your listings up the right way, you're doing the best practices, you're doing your keyword research, you shouldn't worry as much about the conversion rates because those listings should perform over time. Granted, not every listing is going to do well. People really think that every listing is going to do well, and it's not the case. The 80-20 rule is what applies to selling online. 20% of your listings will bring in the majority of your revenue, and then you'll have 80% of your listings that will sell sometimes but won't do as good as the other 20%. That's fine. That 80% of listings that are underperforming or just doing okay are still driving traffic to your 20%. You're not just going to go in and delete 80% of your listings. That's going to kill your business. So keep those listings up, keep monitoring, keep trying to improve them, but just know in the back of your mind that the 20% of your listings will bring in the majority of the revenue. That's just the name of the game. That's just the way that it is, and It's what I've found to be true, and many other sellers have found to be true. So focus on your individual listings. That's what the algorithm looks at. But keep in mind the 80/20 rule as well. All right, so the next question I got is from Donna. Can you pause Etsy ads? Yes, Etsy ads you can pause. So if you launched Etsy ads through the marketing tab, there's a variety of, you can pick which listings you want to advertise. You can turn specific listings off, and you can pause all of your listings at once if you want to. You can change your budget in there. So there's a lot of things that you can kind of tweak and play with as far as the Etsy ads go. And I'm only talking about Etsy ads run through Etsy. I'm not talking about offsite ads, which are run off on other platforms through Etsy, such as Google, Bing, Facebook, stuff like that. Offsite ads, you have a lot less control. You may or may not be automatically opted into those. If you are automatically opted in, you can't turn them off. You have to participate in those. And I've done episodes about this in the past. I'm not going to kind of go down that road. But as far as the Etsy ads, the ones that you control inside Etsy, only on the Etsy platform, you have full control over those. You can turn them on and off. You can turn on and off specific listings as well. All right, the last question that I want to talk about today is from East Win. And these are YouTube names, so some of these aren't real. Someone's not really named probably East Wind or Transformers 101. So, but that is their handle, so to speak. So their question is two really technical questions. Does Etsy collect and remit sales taxes from your pattern store? And does Etsy compile your end-to-end sales information from your pattern store along with your Etsy shop? Thank you so much for this very informative video. Well, you're welcome, Eastwind. I appreciate it. So pattern is basically the ability for you to launch your own website. It's still run by Etsy, but it's your own domain name. So you could have your own domain name. Holy smokes! It's run through. It's called Pattern, but it's controlled through your Etsy dashboard. So all your sales information, all your listings, you have full control through your dashboard to put up listings on your pattern, which really your pattern is just your own domain that's hosted through Etsy. And you can put stuff on pattern that's not allowed to be sold on Etsy. So if you want to sell not handmade stuff, different items that Etsy doesn't allow on pattern, you can absolutely do that. And all that information still pulls into the Etsy dashboard. You have full control over which listings are shown on pattern versus Etsy, and vice versa. You have full control of seeing your sales information. All that stuff is pulled in through your dashboard. And to answer your question more specifically, they still do collect your sales tax information and remit that for you, so you don't have to worry about that. That's done both on your Etsy shop and on pattern, because it pulls into the same place, so you don't have to worry about remitting that on your own. Etsy does that for you. Before, if you'd have to look at your orders, see which ones are from your state, and then pay that sales tax to that individual state. So Etsy does that for I think they do it for all states now. They were slowly rolling them out, but I'm pretty 99.9% sure it's for all states that they remit and collect sales taxes for, so you don't have to worry about that. And then the end of the year sales information, you can separate that out if you want to see what pulls in from pattern, what pulls in from Etsy. There's a tab where you can kind of click back and forth. You can show everything, you can show one or just the other, and then you can obviously download that information as well to kind of see your sales data if you want to look at it differently. If you're filing taxes and using that information accordingly, you could probably just can keep it all together. But if you want to look and see your different performance for each, you can kind of separate it out really easy on the dashboard. But those are the questions that I want to talk about that you guys submitted on YouTube recently. Like I said, if you have more, go ahead and submit them under this video, under another video. I read every single question, every single comment. I try to read, and I try to reply to everyone too. I'm not as good sometimes about replying. I have a limited amount of time, but I try to do my best to reply as much as possible. And there's a couple of you guys that have been really really sweet as far as the comments and your the kind words, and a lot of work does go into putting this content together, editing it. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, preparation. So I really do appreciate when you guys send the kind words, the thank yous, let me know how it's helping your business. And I wanted to give a special shout out to a couple of you guys, a couple of the recent ones, and I appreciate all of them. I can't go back and mention all of you guys, but I do have read all of your kind words, so I really do appreciate it. But I want to call out the last couple few that stood out, and keep them coming. It keeps me going. It keeps me motivated. It's hard with doing these. I'm kind of talking to myself sometimes. I'm like, is this really working? Are people really getting something out of this? Because I know when I started off, I wish I had something like this. To be able to get information. So I appreciate the feedback that you guys are giving me. So Back to Basics says, thank you for bringing us through your thought process from being an employee to being your own boss. I find it very inspirational and something that I am working towards. So that's very awesome. It is a tough journey leaving corporate America after 11 years. And doing my own thing was extremely, extremely scary, and it wasn't easy. And it's not common, and it's not something that you should just do willy-nilly. You got to prepare for it. And sometimes people make it seem like you can just start a business and make $1 million, and it's just not the reality. You have to put in the work, just like anything. But it is absolutely possible if you want it, and that's what I want to inspire in you guys, instill in you guys. If you want it, you can have it. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take time, but it is possible. All right, Nicole says, thanks for being open and honest. It's great to know that every successful sellers make mistakes too. I think this was on my mistakes video. I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of dumb mistakes, a lot of things that I should have known better. I should have paid attention to, should have did more research. But hey, I learned from every single one of those mistakes. And as long as you're learning from your mistakes and you're not repeating them, then you're good. You're good to go. Don't fret. We've all done completely dumb things in business and in life. I can't even tell you how many dumb things I've done in both. So you're not alone. We all make mistakes, and you just got to move on and learn from it. Laugh. Some of them are so stupid you can just kind of laugh about it later on. Tell your friends how stupid you are. I try to make fun of myself because I'm definitely not perfect, and I make plenty of mistakes. So learn from it, move on, and keep on going. And then Julie, I wanted to point out yours. You said finally. Oh yeah, you finally hit 100 sales. So awesome job. Congrats. Very proud of you. 100 sales is a really, really good benchmark to hit, because if you can get 100 sales, you can get 1,000 sales, you can get 10,000 sales for sure. She goes on to say, congrats on your recent wedding, and thanks for being such a powerhouse of knowledge. In the land of Etsy, you are very appreciated. So sure. Wow, she really made me feel good. Powerhouse of knowledge. I don't know about that. I try to do the best that I can with my brain, but I try to learn every day and put more wrinkles in my brain. But I appreciate your kind words. Thanks. Yeah, I was just a couple months ago, I was just married too, so I appreciate that. Finally tied the knot after 13 years. We finally decided to tie the knot and get married. So it's not anything new. Not too much has changed because we've been together forever. But it's nice. It's been really nice doing the whole married thing. And after a while, it kind of gets a little weird saying girlfriend. After 13 years, like that's not enough oomph. Anymore. It's like she's not. Because I feel like, especially as you get older, someone says girlfriend, you're like, it's just like a fling. It clearly wasn't. So that feels good. But yeah, I appreciate the kind words, Julie. Thank you so much. But that is it, guys. That's what I wanted to do with this episode. Do a quick Q&A, answer some of these questions via video format, audio format if you're not watching, and give you guys the ability to listen and learn and really try to push you guys to ask more questions. I encourage you to give me feedback, ask questions, let me know of stuff that you want to hear about. I got a lot of really good plans coming for the podcast, for the YouTube channel. I really want to start doubling down on some content, some different things for you guys. So I'm always working behind the scenes constantly to try to bring you the best stuff out there. So I appreciate you listening. If you're not subscribed, you're not following the YouTube channel, please go subscribe. Please like the videos on the podcast. Please leave me a review, hopefully a 5-star review. I read them all, and it really helps me. Helps me grow. It helps me learn what you guys need, and it helps me stay motivated and keep going. But that is it, guys. I appreciate you. I'll be back soon with another episode, another podcast episode, another YouTube episode. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Have an awesome rest of your day.